Was that supposed to be hard? Hi everyone! So today, I am going to be attempting the Clearly Impossible Puzzle Crystal Edition. I got this puzzle for Christmas this past year, and then I just put it on my puzzle shelf, and when I was doing some reorganizing recently, I found this again, and suddenly I was like, I need to know what is inside, because if we look at the box, it doesn't really give any information. Even on the back, we just have this text, but it doesn't say anything concrete about this puzzle. So I have no idea how many pieces there are, if it's like a traditional jigsaw or if it's more of a brain teaser. I really have no idea what I'm getting into. Now, I know that there have been a few people online who have already done this one, but I purposefully did not watch any of those videos because I didn't want to be influenced by anyone else's strategies. The only clue that I have is that here on the front, it does have a fairly traditional jigsaw puzzle piece motif printed on it. So that makes me think that those are the piece shapes we'll be getting. But as I said, I really have no idea. So let's open this up and see what's in here. This is such a mystery. I love it. Moment of truth. If I can get the box open. Open. No, how are you supposed to open this? Oh, there it goes, okay. Ooh, okay, oh pretty. Look at that, they look like mermaid scales. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay, this is so interesting. So what we've got are somewhat traditional looking puzzle pieces, at least with the traditional ins and outs. Except one side is textured and the other side is smooth. And so what that does is it eliminates one of the biggest barriers or challenges that you usually get with these plastic acrylic puzzles, which is that you can't tell which side is the top or the bottom. But this is going to eliminate half the possibilities because I can flip everything over to the correct side from the beginning. And what would I estimate? Like 150 pieces? Yeah, this does not look impossible to me. This looks extremely possible. Okay, today I'm gonna solve this for real. So basically what happened is I filmed that intro, I saw what the pieces looked like, and then I got busy with other projects and I never got back to it to actually solve the puzzle. Unfortunately though, in that time, I did get spoiled about what the final puzzle is gonna look like. And the way that I got spoiled is the most me story ever. So there's this vintage puzzle company called Nordevco. I've been collecting a lot of their puzzles. I have these two kind of flat holographic puzzles from them, which are pretty rare. And then one day I got an eBay alert for a third version of these flat holographic puzzles called the Crystal Puzzle, which I didn't have. Now, I didn't end up getting it on eBay. You can't get everything. That's not the point of the story. But now that I knew that it existed, I started searching for it on other sites to see if I could find any more information about it or see if any other sellers had it for sale. But of course, if you're searching crystal puzzle, even with other words tacked onto it, this one is going to show up because this has been a pretty popular one online. And so the, you know, official promo photo does show that the final puzzle is going to be a circle. And so there's just one thing left that I can think of that would make it an impossible puzzle. Because since it has the traditional connectors for a jigsaw puzzle, if they repeat the same shape multiple times over multiple pieces, you might have spots where a piece fits perfectly, but then the rest of the pieces don't fit in around it. You know, that makes it where you can't be 100% sure that each piece is correct, even if it fits perfectly. And so then it would become more of a brain teaser where you have to keep rearranging the pieces to find the one way that they can all fit inside the shape. So if that's the case, then this will be pretty difficult. If every connector is actually unique, I don't see it being that hard, but there's only one way to find out. So it seems like the edge pieces are pretty distinct, so I'm going to sort those out. Let's see how that goes. First try was wrong. Okay, that's bad luck for the rest of the puzzle. Oh, I think that one's right. Okay, so we have kind of a V shape, like a chevron around the outside. Okay, I'm gonna change my sorting a little bit. It. All right. 12 minutes on the edge. That's not bad. Well, I'm 12 and a half minutes in, and I already have the edge done, and so far, every connector seems unique, but I actually have an idea of why this puzzle could seem impossible under other circumstances, and I'm gonna tell you what it is. But first, let me tell you about today's sponsor, Factor. It's just about lunchtime, so this is perfect. Okay, so there's something about me that I have just had to learn to accept over the years, and that is that I am not going to cook. I don't like it, I think it's stressful, I'm not good at it, I think it takes too long. I actually have this thing where it drives me crazy if a meal takes longer to cook than it does to eat. I know, it's weird. Most people don't think that way, but I bet there's a few of you watching who get what I mean. Anyway, that's why Factor works so perfectly for me. You get the meals delivered straight to your door, no cooking required. You just pick what you want to eat that day, pop it in the microwave, and then that's it, and you're ready to eat. And so, besides the actual cooking, you're also skipping meal planning, grocery shopping, doing the dishes, cleaning the kitchen. Like, it really does feel like a cheat code to eating. And so the way that it works is they have a weekly menu with over 35 different meals, and they're all marked with spicy, keto-friendly, vegan, vegetarian, all kinds of stuff. And so you get to choose exactly which meals you get. I can be a little bit picky sometimes, but in the whole time that I've been using Factor, I've never gotten a meal that I didn't like. Oh my gosh, I'm so hungry. This is so tempting just sitting in front of me. I'm gonna have a few bites. So if that all sounds good to you and you wanna try it for yourself, you can go to factor75.com or click the link right down below, and you can use code 50puzzles to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first Factor box. That's code 50puzzles at factor75.com for 50% off and free shipping on your first Factor box. Now I'm gonna eat the rest of my lunch. All right, so I think there's one thing that I did where I just kind of got lucky, and that is putting it on a black background. Now, when I did my last video about the clear puzzles, I put those on this dark purple background just because I thought it would look nice on camera. And so I was like, let's just go ahead and do that again here. But now let's do a little science experiment. What happens when we put them on a white background? Okay, watch this. This is crazy. Look at how different that looks. It's like magic. Look at that. I mean, it looks beautiful. I love these colors, but it's a lot harder to see the piece shape. And so I actually grabbed a whole bunch of different colors. I mean, that's a little easier to see. I feel like with the pink, you're really getting a lot of the same color. The blue is a little easier. The purple's okay because it's a darker color. But this is really the easiest to see all of the outlines. I even thought about putting it on this Mylar, like what I did with the mirror puzzle. So let's see how it looks on these. Yeah, oh my gosh, that is actually impossible. Okay, that would be a huge challenge if I did it on here. Also this, I mean, it just, you can see right through it. It just blends right in. The red's okay. The red isn't bad. Oh, wow, look at that one. Oh, that would be so hard. So that's the question, right? Do I want to be an overachiever? Like, do I want to make it harder for myself, or do I just want to go ahead and finish it on easy mode? Here's the thing, since I started it this way, I am just gonna go ahead and finish it this way. And actually, I think I already spotted a piece. Here it is. I spotted this kind of squiggly shape next to a large connector. All right, let's see how this goes. I think this one's gonna be okay. Okay, wait, I just put in a couple pieces, but now I have an idea. So every single piece has 6 connectors, and so I think we can actually do some shape sorting. What I'm gonna try to do is put all the ones with the most out connectors up at the top, and then the ones with the most in connectors down at the bottom. And so something like this with 5 ins and 1 out, that'll be like the next step up. Something like this with 5 outs and 1 in, that'll be the next step down. And I think that's gonna make it a lot easier. Oh my gosh, it's way too hot. I'm gonna switch to a time lapse so I can turn the air conditioning on. But before I do that, I just wanted to give a little bit more of an explanation about how I did the shape sorting. So these pieces are hexagons. They have 6 connectors on each piece. And so if you look at a regular puzzle piece with 4 sides, these are all of the different options that you could have. And so then with 6 sides, you have more options, but still a fairly limited number. Now, at first, I grouped together everything within each number of ins and outs, but at the beginning of the next time lapse, you're going to see that I eventually did separate them out fully by piece shape. Oh man, this is gonna be so satisfying. Look at that. All right, I'm an hour and a half in. All right, so it's day 2, and this puzzle definitely did not need 2 days of solving. I only worked on it for an hour and a half yesterday. I definitely could have knocked this all out just in one day, but yesterday I was getting a headache, and being in this room with the really bright lights on was not helping. So I decided to just call it for the day. But I'm pretty sure I'll be able to knock the rest of this out pretty quickly this morning. And I know that I say this with every single really hard puzzle, but shape sorting was definitely key here. You know, you look at something like this, where you have 2 of these rectangles in a row. Essentially, you have 3 outs in a row. And so we can eliminate all of these pieces, that piece, these pieces, those. This entire row is eliminated. Can't be that. Can't be that. It could be one of these. It could also be one of these. Or one of these, not these. It could be one of these. But that's like half the pieces that we can just immediately eliminate. So I just counted, there are 70 pieces left. And so do you guys think that I can do this in under 2 hours? gosh. 5 pieces left, 5 minutes left to beat 2 hours. I think I'm gonna do it. 2 pieces left. Here we go. Here we go. Like that. Ah, get in there. Done. An hour 55. That's pretty good. Oh, it's so pretty. Was that supposed to be hard? I'm kidding. I mean, almost 2 hours for a 168 piece puzzle isn't nothing. And actually, I really liked it. Because here's the thing, this is essentially a solid color puzzle. And the thing with solid color puzzles is that when you don't have an image to go off of, the only thing that we can judge it by is the piece shapes. And so I've talked on here before about how the Springbok piece shapes are super fun, like with the solid yellow puzzle and then that solid mirror puzzle. But then on the other side of the spectrum, you have the ketchup puzzle, where every single piece was exactly the same, and so that was just frustrating. I didn't even finish it. And I definitely think this one lands on the fun side. And I really like the 6-sided puzzle piece shapes. It's something I haven't really done before. And so I think this is the perfect beginner puzzle for if you're looking to get into solid color puzzles. Because it's only 168 pieces, so it's not overwhelming, and you can practice shape sorting and recognizing puzzle pieces just by the piece shape. So you just have to go into it knowing that there's no crazy twist, it's just a solid color puzzle, it's not super hard. Although I guess you could change the difficulty levels by putting it on different backgrounds or by doing different levels of shape sorting. And then one more thing that I don't love. I looked it up on Amazon and it is being sold for $40, which is a little bit more expensive than I would have thought. I mean, I will have the link right down below if you do want to get one, but you could also look for them secondhand or at a puzzle swap. Okay, and then, where is it? Oh, it's over there. One sec. And then speaking of secondhand, I picked up this puzzle off the free table of a puzzle swap a while back. So this is from the same company. This is the 500 piece, I think, original version of the Impossible Puzzle. I definitely think this one is going to be a lot harder because it's 500 pieces and the pieces are perfectly smooth on the top and the bottom, so you don't know which direction they're going to face. So let me know down in the comments if you want to see me attempt this one, or let me know if you've done this one and how it went for you. You can also let me know, is this a puzzle that you would ever try? Your code word for the comments is gonna be clear. So happy puzzling, and I'll see you all in the next one.